Have you ever wondered what it was like playing Rivengard before Dorga was released? Suddenly this new unit comes along and everybody wants to have it. It's the best unit in the game. It changes everything about the game. You will know what it's like because we're about to see Cervidus. What's up guys, this is Ollie and today's video is all about the brand new festival hero. It's another character spotlight, this time for Cervidus. He's the second hero out of the Sacred Grove faction. You know, these nature loving creatures that like to hide in bushes. They even do more damage while they are attacking in bushes. They're like a bit of a recluse, they want to stay by themselves, and then they got some really cool effects if you don't ignore them, if you poke the bear, so to say. Normally what I'm doing is I'm breaking it all down, I'm showing you what the unit can do, what the effects are, and then we're looking at some gameplay clips to give you a better understanding of how that whole thing plays out. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today we're first going to look at a clip and then I'm going to explain to you what was going on in that clip because it's so absolutely unbelievable. So without further ado, let's look at Cervidus in action. Now this is guild raid. We already have to take a quick break here because we need to note something, and that is the fact that the dragon at the moment has 60k life. So this dragon is still at like really good health. He's really solid, he's still hanging in there. This is not like a common dragon, this is one of the better ones. On top of that, this is the very first turn. Nothing has happened so far. This is the start of this guild raid. So we see some attacks, the dragon is taking some damage. We are currently looking at 1700 damage. Our units are much stronger than the dragon, but now we see something else, and that is going to be very big news. And you might have not noticed it, you might have been like, whoa, nothing special happened here.
Did you guys see that?
Look again. Do you know what normally happens after the very first turn when the dragon goes for hatched dragonlings? The dragonlings are jumping up and down and they are attacking your units. Now what happened here? One dragonling attacked, this one at the front. The other two, they're sitting in the back. They're waiting. Are they bugged? What's happening? First thing you need to note, we're doing 2000 damage. Now let's watch some more. Let's see how this goes on. So we're getting Geeks out of the way. We're getting Katsuma out of the way. And then Cervidus is taking a bit of a distance and he's using his active ability. This is Mushroom Party, as I like to call it. That's not the official name, but we need to call it Mushroom Party for the rest of this game. After Mushroom Party was triggered, we see an effect by Tavarinci. Now Tavarinci is not hitting the dragon right now. Tavarinci is exclusively and only hitting the mushrooms. So let's see how this plays out. We're still going. I don't know if you caught it. We are looking at 19,000 damage.
Over 9,000!
We are now at 19,000.
But wait, there's more!
Then we see an attack by Katsuma. The arrow of Katsuma is constantly bouncing between the dragon and one of the toadstools, the mushrooms next to the dragon. 50,000.
What?
We have done 50,000 damage after 3 active effects. Yes, these units are very strong, these are legendary units, but please tell me, is there any other unit in the game or any other combination of units in the game, no matter what their level is, that on the very first turn in a guild raid can do 50k? I don't know, you tell me. We're still going, by the way, we're still going. So now we're focusing on the dragonlings. You will notice something, or you might have missed something. So let's go back. Let's rewind this again. Do you see that? The dragonlings are taking damage. The dragon is also taking some damage. Why are they taking damage? I'm going to break it down for you in just a second. So dragonling attacks. The dragon is attacking the mushrooms. What's happening to the dragon? Oh, he's taking more damage. We're at 53k. We're still going. I know this is getting old. I'm sorry that this is a bit repetitive. We are still going. And now we're going for the killing blow. This time it's the murder of crows, and the murder of crows turns into the murder of mushrooms, and the dragon is dead. We did 60,000 damage in 2 turns in guild raid. I've never seen this before. This unit is absolutely game-breaking bonkers. And we're just getting started. Fasten your seatbelts. The unit is more. It's S tier in every game mode with the exception of Treasure Beach, and I'm going to show you now in this second clip that we see here. So here we have a 2 versus 1 Cervidus versus Haroon and Tanamo. We see Cervidus attacking Haroon from a distance. It's a ranged unit. Then he gets hit by Tanamo. Now he's moving back and he's starting the Toadstool Party. All of this is already good. You saw if you paid close attention, that Haroon was not moving in to attack Cervidus. Cervidus will 100% win every single fight against another melee unit where there's no other units on the board. So Haroon is already out of the game. Now look what happens after the toadstools have spawned, the mushrooms have spawned. We see Haroon, for some reason, attacking the mushroom. And this is why this unit is absolutely bonkers. This is, without a question, the best unit that I've ever seen in any adventure. Because what happens is this, obviously, the mushroom triggers and he just suicided. He just killed himself and Tanamo because the mushroom was dealing damage. And this is no longer a question of how strong is Cervidus, how strong are the mushrooms, how much damage are the mushrooms doing. The reason is that the AI thinks I need to get rid of this object is in my way, I need to get to the opponent, I need to connect with them, and it basically suicides. This is not just true for campaign, this is true in all game modes, so that includes PvP. Here we see a very one-sided PvP fight. On the bottom we have one team, which is Timtim on the one hand and Cervidus on the other, and the other 5 units on the board, we see Bullmon, we see Nimrul, we see Myvera, Ranaklu and Akio. They together make up the opponent's team. And now look what happens here. Again, the opponent is moving in, Cervidus is getting to a good spot, and then after he got to that good spot, he is again calling in the Mushroom Brigade, and the Mushroom Brigade is already making the life of your opponent a lot harder than before. If you haven't watched my PvP guide, you should. There's a section dedicated to nightmare maps, where I'm talking about the fact that there are certain maps in the game when you are at a distinct disadvantage and your opponent is at a distinct advantage because he has tile effects like shrubs, like high ground, stuff like that working in his favor. Cervidus is a unit that can turn every map into a nightmare map for your opponent. Because all of a sudden, all of the units on the other side of the board that are not ranged, that means every unit with the exception of Myvera and Bullmon can no longer attack your units. They first have to cut through the mushrooms or walk around them. And you have ranged units, that means you can attack them. And you can even be more proactive and just walk in. So let's see what happens here. We see Timtim walk to the side, then we see the effect of Timtim triggered. The effect of Timtim triggers all the mushrooms, and all of the mushrooms are triggering, and they are taking 3 units on the opposing side of the field out of the game. Now this is again already big news. This card has combo potential like there's no tomorrow. But we're not done yet. The most important thing happens right now, right in this very moment. Pay very close attention. What is happening? Ranaklu is attacking the mushroom. Why is Ranaklu doing that? Why would you attack the mushroom? I mean, I like a good mushroom party as much as the next guy, but when I'm in an arena fight, I want to hit the opponent. I don't want to eat mushrooms or get high of mushrooms. Apparently this is what the AI decided is the smartest move. So the A stands for average and not artificial. So Ranaklu is basically trying to suicide. Bullmon at least is attacking from a distance, but Ranaklu is just saying, yeah, let's get this party started and let's hit some mushrooms. Now after that, the rest of the fight is not really all that important because we can see there's a bit of a strategic misplay here. We don't want to move forward and connect with the enemy. What we actually want to do, as is already becoming obvious to you, if you're at least one of the more experienced players, you want to hide behind the mushrooms and wait for the opponent to attack the mushrooms, because that apparently is what the AI really likes to do. There is no other way to say this. This unit is in its current iteration, or rather the way that the AI works in the game, absolutely game breaking. I'm going to show you a couple of screens so you can see how powerful the unit is in terms of stats, but let me tell you, it doesn't really matter. The unit is good in terms of stats. It does less damage than Dorga, it has more health than Dorga, which is huge for a mage. It has more armor than Dorga, which is also pretty big, so it's kinda hard to kill, but it doesn't really matter because again, it is all about the effects. And the effect is basically that your opponent will no longer attack you, your opponent will instead focus on the toadstools. The damage you're doing to units trapped in vines is going up as Cervidus levels up. That's not the big news. The big news is you're going to win every single match against any melee unit. If it's a 1 versus 1, you can shut down opposing units. The health and the damage that the toadstools are doing, or rather are having, is also going up with increasing levels, but again, it doesn't matter. The big deal is that your opponent will no longer attack you. He will focus on the toadstools. This is, without question, a game-breaking unit. Cervidus by itself is a well-designed and cool unit. It has some cool effects. It might be a bit too powerful in that it wins every match against another melee unit if it's a 1 versus 1. But I don't think that Cervidus on its own is game breaking. Once you factor in how the AI in Rivengard works and that the AI wants to focus on objects if it cannot do any damage to your guys, Cervidus becomes game breaking. I know how that sounds. I know this is like an extreme take, but I think that anybody who is not aiming for epic in the next adventure will regret this in very short time. There is of course a chance, and there should be efforts being made to fix the AI. I'm not asking for a nerf for Cervidus. I think that Cervidus works mostly fine the way he works. The problem is the AI. As long as the AI will think that it's a good idea starting a mushroom party, this unit is better than Dorga, in my personal opinion. I would not be surprised if we see Cervidus popping up like mushrooms everywhere in PvP. I think that this unit is going to see a lot of play. However, Cervidus is not going to be as hated as Dorga, because Dorga is really good on defense. Like when you attack Dorga and you don't manage to kill Dorga, she can turn the game upside down. This is not true for Cervidus as long as you're using your brain and you know that you don't have to attack mushroom. In the meantime, start working on your gigs, start working on your Nimrod. These two rogues have color advantage and class advantage against Cervidus, so they're gonna have a field day going up against that unit in arena. Do you disagree? Do you think that I didn't cover something? I know this video might be a little bit shorter, or at least it might feel a little bit shorter than some of my other character spotlights. We didn't look in as much detail at the stats of the unit, how the effects work, because I believe that most of it you have to see in action to really understand how game breaking it is. If you want to learn more about the game, join the official Discord. There's lots of really good players that love to share their thoughts there. You can also become a member of Eternal Nexus, my squad. We love going up against legendary dragons and taking them down. We share some of the best insights in our Guild Eternal channels, how to take these guys down. In the future, we're just going to condense it down to play Cervidus, because that's how easy it is going to be in the future. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and then I'll see you back here on YouTube or of course in the arena in Rivengard. See you guys very soon. September the 1st will go down in history as one of the most pivotal days in Rivengard history. September the 1st was Bring Your Kid to Work Day in the Snowprint offices, and one of the designer's kids had his wish fulfilled and he could design a unit. The result of that is Cervidus, the unit that we're looking at today. Some people are saying my videos are too long, so here's the too long didn't watch version of today's video.
It's over 9,000!
Have you ever wondered what happens when you take mushrooms and then you start designing a unit?